41. Scholars of the highest class, when they hear about the Tao, earnestly carry it into practice. Scholars of the middle class, when they have heard about it, see now to keep it and now to lose it. Scholars of the lowest class, when they have heard about it, laugh greatly at it. If it were not thus laughed at, it would not be fit to be the Tao. Therefore the sentence makers have thus expressed themselves. The Tao, when bright is seen, seems light to lack. Who progress in it makes, seems drawing back. Its even way is like a rugged track. Its highest virtue from the veil doth rise. Its greatest beauty seems to offend the eyes. And he has most whose lot the least supplies. Its firmest virtue seems but poor and low. Its solid truth seems change to undergo. Its largest square doth, yet no corner show a vessel great. It is the slowest made. Loud is its sound, but never word it said. A semblance great, the shadow of a shade. The Tao is hidden, and has no name. But it is the Tao which is skillful at imparting to all things what they need, and making them complete. 42. The Tao produced one. One produced two. To produce three. Three produced all things. All things leave behind them the obscurity out of which they have come, and go forward to embrace the brightness into which they have emerged, while they are harmonized by the breath of vacancy. What men dislike is to be orphans, to have little virtue, to be as carriages without naves. And yet these are the designations which kings and princes use for themselves. So it is that some things are increased by being diminished, and others are diminished by being increased. What other men thus teach, I also teach. The violent and strong do not die their natural death. I will make this the basis of my teaching. 43. The softest thing in the world dashes against and overcomes the hardest. That which has no substantial existence enters where there is no crevice. I know hereby what advantage belongs to doing nothing with a purpose. There are few in the world who attain to the teaching without words, and the advantage arising from non-action. 44. Or fame or life, which do you hold more dear? Or life or wealth? To which would you adhere? Keep life and lose those other things. Keep them and lose your life. Which brings sorrow and pain more near. Thus we may see, who cleaves to fame, rejects what is more great, who loves large stores, gives up the rich estate, who is content, needs fear no shame, who knows to stop, incurs no blame, from danger free, long live shall he. 45. Who thinks his great achievements poor, shall find his vigor long endure. Of greatest fullness, deemed a void, exhaustion ne'er shall stem the tide. Do thou what straight still crooked deem, thy greatest art still stupid seem, and eloquence a stammering scream. Constant action overcomes cold, being still overcomes heat. Purity and stillness give the correct law to all under heaven. 46. When the Tao prevails in the world, they send back their swift horses to draw the dung carts. When the Tao is disregarded in the world, the war horses breed in the borderlands. There is no guilt greater than to sanction ambition, no calamity greater than to be discontented with one's lot, no fault greater than the wish to be getting. Therefore the sufficiency of contentment is an enduring and unchanging sufficiency. 47. Without going outside his door, one understands all that takes place under the sky. Without looking out from his window, one sees the Tao of heaven. The farther that one goes out from himself, the less he knows. Therefore the sages got their knowledge without traveling, gave their right names to things without seeing them, and accomplished their ends without any purpose of doing so. 48. He who devotes himself to learning seeks from day to day to increase his knowledge. He who devotes himself to the Tao seeks from day to day to diminish his doing. He diminishes it and again diminishes it, till he arrives at doing nothing on purpose. Having arrived at this point of non-action, there is nothing which he does not do. He who gets as his own all under heaven does so by giving himself no trouble with that end. If one take trouble with that end, he is not equal to getting as his own all under heaven. 49. The sage has no invariable mind of his own. He makes the mind of the people his mind. To those who are good to me, I am good, and to those who are not good to me, I am also good, and thus all get to be good. To those who are sincere with me, I am sincere, and to those who are not sincere with me, I am also sincere, and thus all get to be sincere. The sage has in the world an appearance of indecision, and keeps his mind in a state of indifference to all. The people all keep their eyes and ears directed to him, and he deals with them all as his children. 50. Men come forth and live they enter again and die. Of every 10, 3 are ministers of life to themselves, and 3 are ministers of death. There are also 3 in every 10, whose aim is to live, but whose movements tend to the land, or place of death. And for what reason? Because of their excessive endeavors to perpetuate life. But I have heard that he who is skillful in managing the life entrusted to him for a time travels on the land, without having to shun rhinoceros or tiger, and enters a host without having to avoid buff coat or sharp weapon. The rhinoceros finds no place in him into which to thrust its horn, nor the tiger a place in which to fix its claws, nor the weapon a place to admit its point. And for what reason? Because there is in him no place of death. 51. All things are produced by the Tao, and nourished by its outflowing operation. They receive their forms according to the nature of each, and are completed according to the circumstances of their condition. Therefore all things without exception honor the Tao, and exalt its outflowing operation. This honoring of the Tao and exalting of its operation is not the result of any ordination, but always a spontaneous tribute. Thus it is that the Tao produces all things, nourishes them, brings them to their full growth, nurses them, completes them, matures them, maintains them, and overspreads them. It produces them and makes no claim to the possession of them. It carries them through their processes, and does not vaunt its ability in doing so. It brings them to maturity and exercises no control over them. This is called its mysterious operation. 52. The Tao, which originated all under the sky, is to be considered as the mother of them all. When the mother is found, we know what her children should be. When one knows that he is his mother's child, and proceeds to guard the qualities of the mother that belong to him, to the end of his life he will be free from all peril. Let him keep his mouth closed, and shut up the portals of his nostrils, and all his life he will be exempt from laborious exertion. Let him keep his mouth open, and spend his breath in the promotion of his affairs. And all his life there will be no safety for him. The perception of what is small is the secret of clear-sightedness. The guarding of what is soft and tender is the secret of strength. Who uses well his light, reverting to its source so bright, will from his body ward all blight, and hides the unchanging from men's sight. 53. If I were suddenly to become known, and put into a position to conduct a government according to the great Tao, what I should be most afraid of would be a boastful display. The great Tao way is very level and easy. But people love the byways. Their courts, yards and buildings shall be well kept, but their fields shall be ill cultivated, and their granaries very empty. They shall wear elegant and ornamented robes, carry a sharp sword at their girdle, pamper themselves in eating and drinking, and have a superabundance of property and wealth. Such princes may be called robbers and boasters. This is contrary to the Tao surely. 54. What Tao's skillful planter plants can never be upton. What his skillful arms enfold from him can ne'er be born. Sun shall bring in lengthening line, sacrifices to his shrine. Tao when nursed within one's self, his vigor will make true, and where the family it rules, what riches will accrue? The neighborhood where it prevails, in thriving will abound, and when 'tis seen throughout the state, good fortune will be found. Employ it the kingdom o'er, and men thrive all around. In this way the effect will be seen in the person, by the observation of different cases, in the family, in the neighborhood, in the state, and in the kingdom. How do I know that this effect is sure to hold us all under the sky? By this method of observation. 55. He who has in himself abundantly the attributes of the Tao is like an infant. Poisonous insects will not sting him. Fierce beasts will not seize him. Birds of prey will not strike him. The infant's bones are weak, and its sinews soft, but yet its grasp is firm. It knows not yet the union of male and female, and yet its virile member may be excited, showing the perfection of its physical essence. All day long, it will cry without its throat becoming hoarse, showing the harmony in its constitution. To him by whom this harmony is known, the secret of the unchanging Tao is shown, and in the knowledge wisdom finds its throne. All life-increasing arts to evil turn, where the mind makes the vital breath to burn. False is the strength, and o'er it we should mourn. When things have become strong, they then become old, which may be said to be contrary to the Tao. Whatever is contrary to the Tao soon ends. 56. He who knows the Tao does not care to speak about it. He who is ever ready to speak about it does not know it. He who knows it will keep his mouth shut and close the portals of his nostrils. He will blunt his sharp points and unravel the complications of things. He will attemper his brightness and bring himself into agreement with the obscurity of others. This is called the mysterious agreement. Such an one cannot be treated familiarly or distantly. He's beyond all consideration of profit or injury, of nobility or meanness. He's the noblest man under heaven. 57. A state may be ruled by measures of correction. Weapons of war may be used with crafty dexterity. But the kingdom is made one's own only by freedom from action and purpose. How do I know that it is so? By these facts. In the kingdom, the multiplication of prohibitive enactments increases the poverty of the people. The more implements to add to their profit that the people have, the greater disorder is there in the state and clan. The more acts of crafty dexterity that men possess, the more do strange contrivances appear. The more display there is of legislation, the more thieves and robbers there are. Therefore a sage has said, I will do nothing of purpose, and the people will be transformed of themselves. I will be fond of keeping still, and the people will of themselves become correct. I will take no trouble about it, and the people will of themselves become rich. I will manifest no ambition, and the people will of themselves attain to the primitive simplicity. 58. The government that seems the most unwise, off goodness to the people best supplies. That which is meddling, touching everything, will work but ill, and disappointment bring. Misery. Happiness is to be found by its side. Happiness. Misery lurks beneath it. Who knows what either will come to in the end? Shall we then dispense with correction? The method of correction shall by a turn become distortion, and the good in it shall by a turn become evil. The delusion of the people on this point has indeed subsisted for a long time. Therefore the sage is like a square which cuts no one with its angles, like a corner which injures no one with its sharpness. He's straightforward, but allows himself no license. He is bright, but does not dazzle. 59. For regulating the human in our constitution and rendering the proper service to the heavenly, there is nothing like moderation. It is only by this moderation that there is effected an early return to man's normal state. That early return is what I call the repeated accumulation of the attributes of the Tao. With that repeated accumulation of those attributes, there comes the subjugation of every obstacle to such return. Of this subjugation we know not what shall be the limit, and when one knows not what the limit shall be, he may be the ruler of a state. He who possesses the mother of the states may continue long. His case is like that of the plant. of which we say that its roots are deep and its flower stalks firm. This is the way to secure that its enduring life shall long be seen. 60. Governing a great state is like cooking small fish. Let the kingdom be governed according to the Tao. And the manes of the departed will not manifest their spiritual energy. It is not that those manes have not that spiritual energy, but it will not be employed to hurt men. It is not that it could not hurt men, but neither does the ruling sage hurt them. When these two do not injuriously affect each other, their good influences converge in the virtue of the Tao.